run through the tape. In life, never give up, run through the tape.
It's a game break. Ernie Johnson, Studio J in Atlanta. There's Blake Griffin. The Clippers down 3-2 going to San Antonio, trying to stay alive. Tim Duncan and the Spurs a win away from the Western Conference semifinals after taking Game 5 in L.A. Game you just saw.
Wow. Can we see the highlights?
The Bulls had 65 points.
Come on, let's watch the highlights.
The Bulls had 65 points in the first.
Y'all always do that, Ernie. Beat down to your very last
120.
compound. See how it sounds?
That 54-point win, the fourth largest in playoff history and the largest, obviously, in Chicago Bulls
Who are the other ones?
playoff history. Three that were higher. Nobody in double figures for the Bucks. Everybody who played for the Bucks scored, but nobody in double figures. It was beautiful.
Way to help me out, Chris Middleton.
Nice pick on the auto trader game. Which sets up the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Chicago Bulls in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Cleveland will be at home. They took 3 out of 4 from the Bulls in the regular season, and of course we know the situation with those first 2 games in Cleveland. No Kevin Love for the rest of the playoffs, no J.R. Smith.
Those numbers are irrelevant.
In those first 2 games.
Those numbers are irrelevant.
Oftentimes they are. But
no, what I'm saying, they're irrelevant because you would have to know who played in those games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is how many of those games did Derrick Rose actually play in? You'd have to ask that question.
Well, he had 20 in the first game. He had 18 in the second game. He had 30 in the third game. And I don't know if he played in the fourth game.
Well, he definitely played well.
LeBron had a triple-double in the last game, which the Cavs won 99-94.
He definitely played.
Yeah. Well, the one thing about, we're going to talk about this game or the Bulls series, possibly.
Well, it's not possible.
Which one we possibly talk about?
The one he just asked you about.
No, he's...
No, the Cleveland series was talking about.
Well, I think the one thing that the Cavaliers will probably have to be a little bit concerned about is the level of depth of the Chicago Bulls. And I still believe from 1 through 8, they have the best roster from 1 through 8. However, it's made of glass. But we have to see if it's plexiglass and not regular glass and breakable. Because they're injury prone.
I've always thought the Bulls were the best team in the Eastern Conference all year, if they got healthy. And right now they're fired on all cylinders. Obviously, they got the bad break with Kevin dislocating his shoulder and J.R. Smith. But when you look at the team, Cleveland's got a really good team. But I thought if you just put the ceiling for the Bulls, to me, is higher if they're healthy.
And a perfect opportunity to steal a home court away, given the Cavs' circumstances in those first
Yeah, I still like Cleveland. LeBron knows what it takes. Kyrie's playing at a high level. Even though they're missing Kevin Love, his scoring and his rebound, I think somebody could come and replace those 16 points, 12 rebounds that he's given them. And then I think if they can hold the fort till J.R. Smith get back, then they'll really be in good shape. But I still like Cleveland in that series.
It's not just
series starts Monday.
Yeah.
Charles on
TNT.
Okay.
And it's just not about them missing Kevin Love. It's about, and JR, it's about that floor's going to shrink. Because now they got to probably put Tristan Thompson out there. And he can't spread the floor, neither can now no JR for the first 2 home games. So it's not just about missing those guys, too.
Let's go to the Clippers and Spurs here before we actually go to the arena. Bench in this series, 223 to 119.
Wow.
By 104 points. The bench advantage for San Antonio in the series.
The bench, the San Antonio others have always played year for years. That's why they have multiple championships. But, this is definitely a desperation game for the Clippers. But, when I say desperation game for the Clippers, I don't really know what that means for them. Because if you say it's a desperation game for the Spurs, to the Spurs, it means come down, execute, take the right shot, take the right play. I don't know what desperation game means for the Clippers. Does it mean come down, just jack up threes and try to blow them out, or does it mean execute down the stretch, make the right play?
I think you hit it on the head, Shaq. That's one of the things that the reason why I felt that it was going to be difficult for them to win an NBA championship. Of course, they're still in it and they could possibly do it, but when you dictate a style of play, I'm not sure what they're great at on the offensive end. or the defensive end. I don't think overall they say you go on defensive. Oh, they're going to do this. They're going to trap you. They're going to put you here, put you in places. Not really. DeAndre Jordan's the shot blocker. That's probably the only thing that's consistent on the defensive end. The offensive end, it's individial play, Chuck. Like, open the floor, let Jamal Crawford or Chris Paul
got about
or
15
anyone else.
seconds.
Well, I picked the Clippers to win. They got to win tonight. It's going to be up to CP3 and Blake Griffin to set the tone. If they can get anything from their bench, they got a chance to win tonight.
They won Game 4 in that gym, 114-105, and did get some numbers off the bench, including Austin Rivers. So here we go. Clippers and Spurs. I'll tell you one thing. It is not going to be a 54-point game.
Okay. Don't say it too early.